With Tony Stewart having left NASCAR, since Stewart-Haas Racing closed out at the end of the 2024 season, in honor of him leaving, here are his best/notable moments from his time at Joe Gibbs Racing, in my opinion. Those moments will be from the Cup Series only. I do apologize if I don't include certain moments, since Stewart won a lot of races with JGR. I'll do my best. Check out the video we did on Stewart-Haas Racing closing down, as I'll leave that in the description. We've done videos in this format before with my Chip Ganassi Racing, M&M's, Terry Labonte, and Auto Club Speedway videos. I highly recommend those videos, as those were a lot of fun to do, and I'll leave those in the description. Let's get started. Tony Stewart, also known as Smoke in a Rush Belt Rocket, he had a great career. He's a 3-time champion, which he did in 2002, 2005, and 2011. Stewart won 49 races, had 187 top 5s, 308 top 10s, 15 poles, led 12,815 laps, and had an average finish of 14.1 and 618 starts from 1999 through 2016. Smoke was inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame in 2020 and was also named one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers in 2023, when the sport celebrated its 75th anniversary that year. Stewart has also run a number of different vehicles in his racing career besides NASCAR. He's raced in IndyCar, Sprint Cars, NHRA, IROC, SRX, and sports cars. He won the 1997 IndyCar Championship and the 1995 USAC Triple Crown. However, Stewart is best known for his NASCAR career. Stewart is best known for driving for Joe Gibbs Racing, even though he finished his career with Stewart-Haas Racing. He drove the 20 car with the Home Depot as his sponsor and had different looks from how it looked in 1999, then 2002, and 2005 when it was a solid orange. His final year with JGR in 2008 was orange with black and gray on the side. In 2019, Stewart-Haas Racing ran throwbacks to his JGR Championship paint schemes, with Eric Almirola running Stewart's 2002 Championship paint scheme, and Daniel Suarez the Smoke's 2005 Championship paint scheme. Carl Lewis ran a throwback in 2016 to Stewart's 1999 rookie paint scheme for JGR. He also had other incredible paint schemes, such as his Coca-Cola Christmas paint scheme and his Subway paint scheme. During his time with JGR, Stewart was also featured on the cover of NASCAR Thunder 2004, which is arguably the greatest NASCAR console video game of all time. He also ran the double, in which he ran the Indianapolis 500 and Coca-Cola 600 on the same day in 2001. Stewart got the winning start at the Exide NASCAR Select Batteries 400 at the Richmond International Raceway in 1999. It was his first career win, and finished ahead of teammate Bobby Labonte by 1.115 seconds. Stewart also dominated by leading 333 or 400 laps in his Pontiac. He finished his rookie year by winning 3 races, had 12 top 5s, 21 top 10s, and finished 4th points on the way to Rookie of the Year that year.
I don't know if Tony's going to get to him before this thing's over. He hopes not.
397 complete for Tony Stewart.
Man, this thing is never going to be what they said. Steve Grissom, the 9 car.
Tony Stewart won the USAC Midget Championship in 1994. In 1995, he won the Sprint, Midget, and Silver Crown Championships in the same year in the United States Auto Club. He won the Pep Boys Indy Racing League title in 1997. Here is a battle between Earnhardt and Irwin for the 5th position. And Tony Stewart gets the white flag. One more lap to go. Stewart has a lot of traffic ahead of him, but I don't think it's going to be a factor in the race. They come down the backstretch. Bobby Labonte is still about 5 or 6 car lengths behind him. Here comes Tony Stewart off the corner. And in his 25th NASCAR Winston Cup race, Tony Stewart wins at Richmond International Raceway. Becomes the first rookie in Winston Cup racing to win since Davey Allison at Dover.
The 2002 MBNA American 500 was the first win of Stewart's championship season. He got it done there at Atlanta Motor Speedway and led 143 of the 325 laps that day.
I think he'll be okay with only 3 to go. As far as finishing goes, we got a car load. Who's that? Oh, that's Nadu. He's trying to stay down out of the way.
Yep. He's just trying to make circles right now.
Man, look down there and saw dust flying.
Last time by, 2 to go. Tony Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Jr., their lap times was almost identical. Junior maybe just a little bit quicker.
Tony Stewart trying to score the 6th win in the last dozen races here for Joe Gibbs Racing.
You know, he had a great car at Daytona and didn't get to show it. He blew up right on the start of the race. Dominated down in Las Vegas. And here he sits looking like he's going to win this race today. Although I got to tell you, I wouldn't. Dale Jr. is going to dive that thing to the bottom down here with maybe 1 or 2 to go and see if he can't close that gap.
This is it. Final lap. Turn 4. Stewart, the high line. Junior, the low line is coming.
Here he comes.
He cuts the gap in half. But Tony Stewart scores his first super speedway win in over a year.
Pretty dominant little performance there, Larry.
Yes, it was. Dale Earnhardt Jr. for second, but how about that man that finishes third, Jimmy Johnson, in only his 7th Winston Cup start?
It was a great run for him today, and Chad, he didn't fall out of the seat, bud. He stayed up on that wheel for you.
Matt Kenseth from last on the restart to 4th. Ricky Craven.
That shows you how fast that Kenseth was. My goodness, he restarted in about 17th or 18th place. Well, we didn't have a photo finish, but it's pretty exciting.
Later that year at the Ford 400 at Homestead Miami Speedway, Stewart clinched his first Winston Cup championship. Stewart finished 18th in the race, with Kurt Busch winning the race, but it was enough for Stewart to win the championship. Stewart finished his championship season by winning 3 races, had 15 top 5s, 21 top 10s, 2 poles, led 745 laps, and had an average finish of 12.6. Smoke finished ahead of second place Mark Ward by 38 points that year. It was the second championship for Joe Gibbs Racing, with Bobby Labonte getting the organization their first championship in 2000.
Tony will go to 18th position. Mark Martin is running 4th, but it's not going to be enough. Next time, the white flag waves for leader Kurt Busch. And Tony Stewart will be 1 lap away from finishing off a very turbulent Winston Cup season with a champion's celebration. The headlines have been many involving Tony Stewart, not all of them good. The incident at Indianapolis with the photographer, much publicized. Tony put on probation by his sponsor for the rest of the season. But he and that team had so many opportunities to come apart at the seams from all the off-track distractions that were going on, and they didn't.
It made them stronger because it brought them much closer together as a team. As you see, the white flag is waving on this field.
It's the final lap of the 2002 season. Tony Stewart, 1.5 miles from a NASCAR Winston Cup championship. Kurt Busch is out in front of the race, looking to pick up his 4th victory of the season. 3 of those will come in the last 5 weeks of the year. Put Kurt Busch on your calendar as a Winston Cup title contender for 2003. Checkered flag is up. The Ford of Roush Racing wins the Ford 400. Kurt Busch is the winner at Miami. 2nd for Nemechek, 3rd for Jeff Burton. Mark Martin's title bid will be a strong one today. He'll finish 4th. But at the end of the day, the big trophy will go to Tony Stewart. The Rushville Rocket from Indiana is the 2002 NASCAR Winston Cup champion.
There's a big sigh of relief.
Yes, it is.
It didn't come easy at a track where they've dominated. In the 3 previous Winston Cup races here, an 18th place finish for the 20 car today, but it did the job. 2nd Winston Cup championship for Joe Gibbs Racing, and Tony Stewart is now just the 25th man in history to wear a NASCAR Winston Cup champions ring. There's his teammate Bobby Labonte offering congratulations in the 18 car. Victories this season for Tony Stewart at Atlanta, Richmond, on the road course at Watkins Glen. He'll win the championship despite failing to finish 6 races this season. Who'd have thought at lap 3 of the Daytona 500 Tony Stewart would be champion? The first race of the year, he was the first car out with engine failure at lap 2. But when it's all said and done, after 14,353 miles of racing, Tony Stewart's the champion. Marty?
Greg Zipadelli gets a hug from his wife, Nan. There's lots of stuff flying around here that is, I don't know what that stuff's called. I think the biggest gets a hug from his brother, Scott Zipadelli. One of the mechanics on the 18 car, Bobby Labonte, I think the biggest feeling down here, Zippy, is just relief. With me, take a deep breath. It's over, buddy.
Yeah, it is. Thanks to this man right here. I had the opportunity to put a great team together. I don't even know what to say, man. It's been a long year.
You came here from New Britain, Connecticut, a young guy, worked with Jeff Burton for a while, but you produced the 25th Winston Cup champion in Tony Stewart. He said before the race, if it weren't for you and these guys, this would have never happened this year.
Yeah, we've had a tough year. You know, it's been up and down, but it sure makes it all worth it.
Finished 43rd in the Daytona 500. Do you ever think it would happen?
Boy, I don't think we ever gave up, but there were some days where we had our doubts.
Here's Stewart giving his thoughts on his first championship and more to Bill Weber on NBC.
Well, we are here waiting for the champion to emerge from his car here at Homestead Miami Speedway. For Tony Stewart, the long road from the heartland of Indiana to a championship at Homestead is over. Off come the belts, the safety devices, the steering wheel's already off. An emotional few moments for Tony in the car, sits there trying to compose his thoughts, and then we'll get ready to celebrate. His team is here, many of his friends are here. Now admiring a cap that says 2002 NASCAR Winston Cup champion, Tony Stewart. It has been a rocky year for this team and for the driver. After the checkered flag, he said, "I'm glad the roller coaster is over," and it is. Here is the 2002 NASCAR Winston Cup champion, Tony Stewart. Jason Shapiro. He's looking for Greg Zipadelli. That's okay, man. Congratulations. Dale Jarrett is here. Bobby Labonte was here a few moments ago.
We got through it. We got it. It was ugly, but we got through it.
best for all year. Okay.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Tony Stewart, congratulations. You are the 2002 NASCAR Winston Cup champion.
Unbelievable. This was an ugly day. It was just like Rockingham a couple weeks ago, but you know, we never gave up. We got a lap down there, and the pit crew did a great job of getting us out first. And this car liked clean air, but it didn't like being in the back of the pack. So you know, we just ran hard there and got our lap back and got the spots we needed to stay ahead of Mark. So just really happy. This team deserves this. I mean, Greg Zipadelli, I don't even know where my crew chief is.
They're all in here somewhere, I guarantee it.
I can't find my crew chief, but he's the one that's responsible for all this. That and this man right here.
Jimmy Maycar is the man he's talking about. Here comes Greg Zipadelli making his way through the crowd. How concerned were you two at a point in the race when you fell off the lead lap and the car was not running that well?
I mean, we were struggling there. You know, we've always ran so good here. I mean, that's why it was such a surprise that the car went off like it did. But you know, the changes we made didn't do it by any means. Just I don't know if it was just the cooler conditions or what, but the car didn't drive like it did yesterday by any means. We weren't terrible the first run. We were a little too tight, and we'd made a change to tighten it up. And you know, we had those two green flag stretches there that got us a lap down, and just had to come in and try to work on the thing. And luckily, we got some big changes. I mean, Zippy really made some aggressive changes to fix the thing. And I was so nervous I couldn't tell him what to do to fix it. I could just say this is what it's doing. So he made a change, and we got out there and got in the front of the pack again, and got our lap back. And then you know, it took a little bit of the pressure off. We were able to race the guys on the lead lap ahead of us, and knew there were only 21 guys on the lead lap, so it just made the last 31 a little easier, but it wasn't a piece of cake by any means.
In 2004, Smoke had a unique win in his career. He had an upset stomach and went back to his hauler after winning the series at the Glen at Watkins Glen International. Not only did he go back to his hauler, he also went back to his motorhome to get changed and to recover as well. Stewart was also very successful on road courses, as he won 8 times on those type of tracks, including 5 of those at the Glen.
Coming to the white flag. What a
hard drive for Ron Fellows today from last to second, but Tony Stewart overcoming the cramps, staying in the race car. We knew he had too good a race car to give it up.
Man, I'm so impressed with this run today.
And now the white flag is up, and we're on the final lap here at Watkins Glen. Another 10 or so gear shifts, 7 corners plus the inner loop for Tony Stewart to find victory lane. We're assuming he'll find victory lane.
I bet he will.
Today.
And there goes the 41 car, Benny.
Yep, he's still running. White flag. Marty may be right. We'll see.
Well, can we say Jimmy was right?
Jimmy was right. Jimmy Elliott was right. Yeah, not Marty. Tony, very impressive today.
This is a team that has endured its share of ups and downs, the different things that happen to them, the controversy that seems to just build up and swirl around them from time to time. Last weekend at the Brickyard 400, Tony Stewart not able to come up with the result that he so badly wants at that racetrack. Brushed it off probably as well as he ever has. A disappointment at Indianapolis particularly. And here at Watkins Glen today, overcoming the physical cramps that have dogged him throughout the day, and he's going to ride his way to a dominating win. He'll lead half the race today and take his second Watkins Glen checkered flag. Tony Stewart is the winner. Second and a half margin of victory over Ron Fellows. Stewart leads 46 of the 90 laps. His second win of 2004.
2005 was the year that Tony Stewart got the biggest win of his career. He won the All-State 400 at the Brickyard at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as it was the first Brickyard 400 win of his career. Plus, with him being a native of Columbus, Indiana, that win was a big deal for him in that aspect also. Stewart got the lead from Casey Kane with 11 laps to go, and won the race by 0.794 seconds over Kane.
Boy, he's so smooth right now. Concentrating so hard on hitting those marks just right.
2 laps remain in the All-State 400. Stewart has been the Nextel Cup bad boy for so many years until this year. Says he just doesn't take things as seriously as he used to. Doesn't let things bother him as much. Is trying to enjoy his successes. And when he has a problem, he just tries to leave him behind. He told me in the garage yesterday, instead of being mad about something for 3 days, he just puts it behind him and goes on. Then has 3 more days just enjoying life. He sweeps out of turn 4 and sees the white flag at the same track where his hero A.J. Foyt won before him. Now Tony Stewart is 2.5 miles away from history.
Looking in his mirror about 2 seconds right now.
Turn 2 at the Brickyard. Down the backstretch.
This is going to be really, really big for him.
Half a lap to go. The fans cheering. Through turn 4, the last trip down the front stretch. Tony Stewart, a native Hoosier, his dream comes true. Tony Stewart wins the All-State 400 at the Brickyard. Let the party begin.
Folks, there's one happy race car driver.
This is one of those races, I'm telling you, you want it more than anything. You don't treat this place like another race.
You can go all your life and never get a crack at this if you're a race car driver. Close doesn't count at Indianapolis, only winning does.
After the race, Stewart memorably climbed the fence after that win, which showed how much of an impact that win had on him. Stewart got his second Nextel Cup championship at Miami later that fall, and became the only driver to win a Cup championship in the full season Winston Cup format and in the chase/playoff format. Stewart had a career year by winning 5 races, had 17 top 5s, 25 top 10s, 3 poles, led 1,845 laps, and had an average finish of an incredible 9.9. He finished 15th in the Ford 400, with Greg Biffle winning the race. Stewart finished ahead of Biffle by 35 points in the final standings, with Biffle being second in the points that year.
Out of 4, they come to the line. Wow! Greg Biffle wins the race. Watching for Tony Stewart. Hey, did we get second? Tony Stewart is the 2005 NASCAR Nextel Cup Series champion.
And Greg Biffle, the first thing he asked, are we second in NASCAR Nextel Cup points?
They're tied, aren't they?
Yes.
He and Carl Edwards are tied for second, looks like.
Unofficially, they are both 35 points behind the championship winner, Tony Stewart.
And there is the champion crew.
Biffle will win that tiebreaker. It's Biffle's 6th win of the season, so he will get second place on the tiebreaker. The first tiebreaker is wins.
There is a relieved race car driver right there.
Really talked about how he wanted to come in, win the race, and clinch the championship.
Here's Stewart talking to Alan Bestwick about winning a second Cup championship and more on NBC as well.
And the Nextel Cup championship trophy. Tony's already been congratulated by Bobby Labonte, who is here. His crew chief, Greg Zipadelli, is here. Well, Tony, championship number 2. Congratulations. Your thoughts?
Just excited. So happy that I could get Zippy this championship and do it the right way for him instead of with the hell that I put this team through in 2002. So just a nice way to get it done tonight.
Well, let's talk about tonight. It wasn't the race you were looking to have. Tell me about your evening.
Just where we were just way too tight all night. We could start off a little on the free side and just never got the balance. We kept sneaking up on it, but we knew we were better being a little too tight than we were being too free, so we just made small changes, and we could have done more to be more aggressive with it, but we did what we needed to do and just kept our mind on the big prize tonight. We knew we didn't have a car good enough to win, so just did what we had to do to win this championship.
You talked about winning this second championship would mean 20 times more to you, or 10 times more, excuse me, than the first one did. You alluded to it earlier, but 2002, you won a title, but you didn't consider it to be everything you hoped it would be.
I put the team through a lot of hell. I mean, I've put this team through a lot of hell the whole time I've been with them, but they've never given up on me. We sat down at the end of the year last year and had a big team meeting, and just to see if I was even going to stay with the team, whether they wanted me back or not. But thanks, buddy. And just had a heart-to-heart, and sometimes that's what teams have to do to get on track, and it wasn't. Well, at least it's Coke.
That wasn't me, man. That wasn't me.
Thanks,
Congratulations, man. Way to go.
Jeff Gordon.
But it was nice to finally do one right and do it right for Zippy. He didn't want to win it the way we won it in 2002, and we won it right this time for him.
The team's over my back getting some good chuckles out of causing this commotion here.
Guys, it's going to be a long night with these guys.
Tell me about the stretch run. Your season really turned in June, and you began this incredible run over the summer months. The first part of the season, did you feel like a championship contender?
I feel like I need a shower right now more than anything, but that's pretty hard on part of our shop early in the year. You need a shower now too, but we weren't exactly where we needed to be early in the year, and the engineering staff, I gave them a hard time, and we went to a Michigan test and had a really good test, and it seemed like everything just clicked after that. We went back to Michigan a week later and finished second to Biffle, and just did everything that we needed to do after that. It seemed like, Daytona, we had been good in the spring there, we win. Go to the road course, we win. And then after that, we really started pouring on these good finishes. So, it was nice to get on that string. And then, before today, I think we had a stat of 18 top 10s down to 20 races. So, when you're doing that stuff, you're doing it right.
2007 was the second and final Brickyard 400 win for Smoke. He got it done in the All-State 400 at the Brickyard, as it was his second win at the paved track in 3 years. Stewart passed Kevin Harvick for the lead with 10 laps to go and led the rest of the race.
He's real close to getting that white flag.
Yeah, if he gets that drink bottle out and takes another drink, now that's going to be really adding something to this. He doesn't have to show off quite that much.
I tell you what, that makes him a pretty good driver. If you can,
right here. One more.
One more.
All right, Tony Stewart comes by. He had not won a race in 20 starts dating back to last fall. And then 2 weeks ago, he took this car to Chicagoland Speedway and spanked them. Led over 100 laps and said, guys, that has now become my favorite race car. I want to take this car to my home track. So they brought it to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a track, as you heard, that he came to when he was 5 years old, riding in a luggage rack on top of a bus, covered up in coats, so he could watch these guys race. It's a track that he has dreamed of winning time and time again. He won here in 2005, and once again, with the help of that guy right there, Zippy, Greg Zipadelli, Tony Stewart will come down here in 2007 and take the win in the All-State 400. Tony Stewart wins it.
Take a look at him, guys. A lot of confidence. It's 2 wins at the track he loves so much, one of the favorite tracks. It's a kid he always wanted to win here, Jerry. He's got 2 of them now.
He ran the Indianapolis 500 5 times, never won it, wanted to so badly, and now he has 2 wins in NASCAR's Elite Division, the Nextel Cup Series, in just 9 starts. And he made it look easy in total domination, almost casual at times, driving that race car.
I knew he had a good race car, but when I saw him driving down the straightaway with no hands, taking that lead, I just, what do? You can't beat a guy like that. Got a great car.
Yeah, I've gone through the fast food line at before with driving with my knees when I wanted to order, but I've never on a racetrack at 200 miles per hour.
Oh, looks like a little payback from earlier.
Tell you what, I don't know if they're mad at each other, giving each other a kiss right there. They get along pretty good, those guys do.
That could be just a little congratulations right there.
It sure could. Got to be proud for Tony.
He might want to dent that car up a little bit. He's tired of getting beat by it. That's 2 in a row for Tony in that car.
Well, I don't know what type of kiss that was, Jerry, but they just called the 29 driver to the hauler. They want to talk to him about some rough driving just then.
Now they want to have a little discussion with Kevin Harvick, but here comes 36-year-old Tony Stewart, who grew up just 45 minutes away from Indianapolis in the towns of Columbus and Rushville, Indiana.
2008 was the final year that Stewart drove for Joe Gibbs Racing, as he left for Stewart-Haas Racing after that year was over. He got that final win at the AMP Energy 500 at the Talladega Super Speedway. However, it was in controversial fashion, as Regan Smith was below the yellow line when he passed Stewart. Smith was penalized, and Stewart was given the win. It was also the only time Stewart won in a Toyota in the Cup Series. His previous wins were with Pontiac and Chevrolet. During his time at JGR, Smoke won 33 races, had 129 top 5s, 207 top 10s, 10 poles, led 10,232 laps, and had an average finish of 12.7 at 356 starts from 1999 to 2008. Plus, all of those wins came with legendary crew chief Greg Zipadelli.
Tony Stewart has never won at Talladega in a NASCAR Sprint Cup car.
He's going to have to do a lot of blocking right here. They've got to run on him. Got to run.
Here they come.
I can't go down there and do that, though.
Actually, I think it's legal on the last lap. He might have got it right there. I think it's legal on the last lap. We're looking next door to see.
Below the yellow line. It was below.
We still haven't got an indication, but it looks like Regan Smith won this race.
Why would it be legal on the last lap?
That's
It's not for 187.
You heard Tony Stewart, some of those guys commenting on you can't go below the yellow line to make that pass. There's Tony inside the car. We are waiting to get definitive information from NASCAR.
He definitely passed below the
They're
yellow
talking
line
it over.
pretty much the whole way.
John
So I don't know
Darby,
what
Mike
the deal
Keltner
is
having
on
a
that, but
discussion.
we'll see. So, good effort.
Here's the replay again. Watch a 0-1.
And he got forced down there. I mean, Tony Stewart actually forced him down a little bit.
Well, yeah, if you're going to consider that he only, yeah.
They are saying Tony Stewart has won the race. Tony Stewart is the official winner here at Talladega. They would not allow that pass below the yellow line.
That's the only way that can be. You can't race one way for 187 laps and change on the last lap. You have to be able to take the same deal. Great win for Tony Stewart and his team.
And the 43 race winless streak for Tony Stewart ends on a wild afternoon at Talladega, Alabama.
Well, you got to hand it to Regan Smith. He gave it all he had. That's the only shot he had.
Well, yeah, no, that's there for a reason. So you have to make the move to the outside. I mean, you know, obviously the rules in place for a reason, and so you know he gave it a shot. But you know, again, it forces you to make that move to one side, and it would have been interesting to see. He had a run if he could have taken that to the outside.
Yeah, he did have a little bit of a run, and if he takes it to the outside, it looked like he was going to. He actually tried to fake Tony to the outside.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's going to be his argument that Tony forced him there.
And he does have somewhat of an argument, I guess. Yeah. You know, it depends on how you look at it.
And that's the list. Hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like. And if you are brand new, subscribe. And Honor Stewart having left NASCAR, you are 8 commercials from his time at Joe Gibbs Racing. Enjoy all of those, and peace.
The Rushville Rocket from Indiana is the 2002 NASCAR Winston Cup champion.
Here's your champion, ladies and gentlemen, Tony Stewart.
On behalf of everybody from NASCAR, congratulations. You've earned it. The pressure's off. Enjoy it now.
NASCAR, how bad have you got it?
Make your move, Tony.
Got it, Joe. You know, at times like these, I'm glad I'm driving the wide track Grand Prix. With handling like this and this, I can really turn a race around. On the way to the winner's circle, wider is better. The wide track Grand Prix by Pontiac.
And what a story for Laura Wilkinson of the United States. Listen to that applause.
Maybe I should be in the Olympics.
We're back as Tony Stewart stands just one dive away from his first gold medal. Let's have a nice round of applause for Tony Stewart. Security to the main entrance.
Ooh. Nah. NASCAR and the Summer Olympics on NBC.
I'm Tony Stewart, and I race for the Home Depot. 10 years ago, I started in NASCAR. I had a huge problem. I had a blank car, just a white car with a number 20 on it. One thing I know about racing, colorful cars just go faster. I went to the Home Depot.
Got any car paint?
We don't really sell car paint. Matte finish or glossy?
We tried a lot of colors. Maybe we should do a faux finish or sponging.
I just think you need something bolder than eggplant.
Bolder than eggplant?
Like this one.
Bright orange?
It says, look at me, fast.
We picked orange. Then to say thanks to the Home Depot for all their help, I did a little something special for them.
Oh, you put our logo on your car?
Yeah, if you like it.
I love it. You could probably get corporate to give you some real money for doing that.
Your help's enough.
Is it Tony, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, good luck, man.
And Tony Stewart takes the checkered flag.
We were on a roll. The bigger the home improvement project, the better we did in the race. I told Zippy about it.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard you say.
I was skeptical. Then I showed him. I put it in his home office before the Glen.
And we won.
And I redid the kitchen before Talladega.
Maybe there is something to this.
The Brickyard.
You weren't taking any chances, were you?
Nope.
and bring home some of your favorite athletes with ESPN handheld sports video games. You can get one of 6 in every McDonald's Happy Meal.
I got Tony Stewart. Oh yeah, well I got Tony Hawk.
It needs to be a little tighter. Zippy wants a championship. That's Claus. We already got him one.
Elves. Need a great gift for the holidays? A Home Depot gift card is perfect. It comes in bright new holiday designs, and it's always the right size.
The Home Depot. You can do it, we can help.
It's no surprise the Home Depot is NASCAR's home improvement warehouse.